What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord, and no, I'm not sure I can say that any faster and still enunciate what's actually coming out of my mouth. But that being said, we've got Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time here coming to talk about a deal that he actually helped me put together because as I was working on it, I couldn't make this one number work. I'm banging my head against the wall. And he's like, oh no, it's this. And I was like, it is that. But let's talk about the deal first, Mike. Thanks so much for helping me out with it because we went under contract on Wednesday. I think we went under Wednesday.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. But this is also a 50-40-10 deal. And I'm working with Steve Dow at Velocity. So very exciting stuff. So where should we begin? Because I want to make sure that we kind of cover as much as you'd like. And I'm not sure what gaps we should cover first.
Yeah, I think the first thing to understand is what is the 50-40-10?
Sure.
Because without that tool and using the tool appropriate, this deal doesn't happen.
Agreed.
So one of the things that makes Velocity and Stephen Dow important in this is they have something called a 90% combined loan to value, CLTV.
Yes.
And if you don't have that, you can't do this deal. And let's be very, very clear. Plenty of non-QM lenders and banks do not do this. A 90% loan, guys, freak banks out. Freak them out. Just, they do. Right? They're like, I remember the last time hurt. We're not doing that. So not a lot of lenders do this, but Velocity does. And it's what helped us create the 50-40-10. So it's a good 90% combined loan to value, which means the lumberjack in this case only needs to bring in 10% of cash.
Correct.
And if you've been following my channel, that's what I expect to do over the next 18 months. I would be deploying less cash and getting more assets because of seller financing and programs like the 50-40-10. So it exists. Stephen Dow was gracious enough to do 90-minute deep dive on my channel. Go to a playlist called Deep Dive. It's all there for what it is. Go nuts, watch it. So that's step one. Step two, you did your job, I think, networking, right? You were doing a deal. You tell everybody you're a buyer. You tell everybody your buy box. And lo and behold, somebody goes, hey, you know what? I have something that might fit in this. This case, it happened to be an attorney. They were working with a couple who had 50% equity, rough and tough.
Yep.
Ah, interesting. Tell me more. So they got in a situation where they need help. They can't get out of it by themselves. The attorney basically understood what you were looking for, what they had, put you two in a room. You met each other. That's what I did yesterday, right? I went and met some prospective sellers to say, hey, this is who I am. This is who you are, all of that. So you have this discussion. Basically, what I heard you say when we talked earlier is, Michael, I need 60% of this deal in cash, which would mean your 10 and a bank's 50. And I can get the seller to carry back 40% because they don't really want a lot of cash. They just want to stay in their home.
Yes.
And they want to stay below $2,100, which is what they were paying until they got by the bank.
Correct.
So what you and I did was we exceeded expectations.
Correct.
We took their monthly payment down from $2,100 to $2,000. That should be seen as a win.
Yep.
And what we did is we created a second, and you and I didn't give a rat's ass about the interest rate.
Nope.
You had to keep the payment below $250 to make all the other numbers work.
Sure.
Because you could have banged them at 1%, but that's not who you are.
Nope.
You're like, right, you do all the numbers. Mike and I do the numbers. My return, I have to keep the second payment below $250. So we did the math, interest only, 10-year prepay, which is what you were comfortable with. Or 10-year balloon, sorry.
10-year balloon, yep.
And we basically did the math and we got it at 2.5%.
Yes.
And now let's just use $250 as the number. It's a little bit less than that, but whatever. So now not only do they have $2,000, which is less than their minimum or maximum 21, they can subtract 250 and they're now $350 to the good.
Yes.
They get to stay in their home. They're spending $350 less a month. It's a win-win-win. And oh, by the way, you were creative and there was an extra rough and tough $7,000. And you're like, you know what? Let's protect the house. We're going to create a 7-year or a 10-year escrow account for capital expenses. And at the end of 10 years, that will either be zero or positive. If it's positive, that's their money.
Yep.
If it's zero, it means I've exhausted it and I owe everything past the $7,000. So I think it is one of the most creative deals I've seen. It's exactly the kind of deals that are coming. You have to understand the tool. The tool is the tool. Like hammers don't have feelings. It's a hammer. It's a screwdriver. It doesn't matter. But the environment we are in, there are going to be people that get in trouble.
Yep.
There'll be people that get in trouble with no equity. There'll be people that get in trouble with equity. Because again, this couple could have sold their home on the market and probably walked with $100,000.
Yep, agreed.
Probably, maybe not, because again, the penalty.
It would have been
That's not what they wanted.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
They wanted to stay in their home for the rest of their lives.
That's right.
Listen to the sellers.
Yes.
And it was amazing to watch you work, because again, a lot of people in your position, frankly, this is where it makes you a hero in my book. You could have done this deal at 1%.
Yes.
You could have made an extra $80 a month.
Yep.
That $80 a month means nothing to you.
Nope.
It means everything to them.
It does.
So you knew the max number you could pay and still have a great deal, and you went right up to that number, and you are a hero for it. So you will always be a hero in my book.
I appreciate that. It was, it's important, right? And if you had the chance to do that deal, you do that deal too, right? Try and help them.
Yeah. I can't help everybody, but once or twice a year, there's a situation where my size allows me to bend a little bit. This is not something I would ask a brand new first-time investor to do, but there are sometimes God or whatever you want to say puts it in front of you, and it's a test. And I'm happy to say you passed.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think what was great about it was the look of relief on their face that they never have to deal with a bank again. They never, I mean, this snowballed. I saw the notes on this because I asked for them. This snowballed so unbelievably fast, and start fee structures and accelerations and returning of payments. Mike, returning of payments from the bank. Nope, we're not accepting your payment.
Yeah, because that restarts the clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I'm trying to pay you. And so all of this stuff, which is just so unfortunate, because they never would have been able to recover.
No, the snowball had started.
They never would have been able to recover. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful that we were able to put something together. The numbers aren't fantastic by any stretch. The only reason I'm doing this deal is because A, it helps somebody, and B, it's just, we'll do it because it's a good thing to do. Yeah. And when you have a big enough book, it's important that you remain the good things that you can do. And the good things that you do, if you have a small book, you still do good things. But the things that you can afford to do are smaller.
Yeah.
When you get the things you can afford to do are bigger.
Yeah, I have one house that's been in my portfolio for 5 or 6 years now, kind of the same situation. This particular property is probably 50% under market. I won't change it because they're on fixed income. And they will be there until they move on. And at which point I'll do a full gut remodel and, raise rents. But it's, you can't help everybody, but if you can help somebody, and again, our books are big enough where we can have one of those. So I have one too.
One of the things that we also did for them too was we said, with this money that we're actually setting aside for some larger capital expenditures, because they said, well, the roof doesn't need doing now. I said, but in 10 years, and the water heater in 10 years, and the heating system in 10 years. I said, are they all going to be good in 10 years? Probably not. One of those things will have gone, and this will help with that. But that said, I'm sure, and I said to them, I said, sir, I'm sure there's some honeydew list stuff that you guys would love to get done. Send me that list, and I'll look through it, and I'll see if we can't do a few of those things for you and just pull that from the fund.
Yeah.
And so they asked for some simple things like a storm door and a this and a that. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. And it's going to take like maybe $600 or $700 out of the fund. But it's something that we can do for them. We can do them at cost.
Yeah.
And
no margin.
Just make them feel good about it. And again, at the end of the day, it gives them some breathing room, because they're not having to worry, is there going to be an auctioneer showing up on their lawn?
Yeah. It's, you understood the tool. I remember you've asked a question about, tell me about this 50, 40, 10 things.
Of course.
Blah, 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 blah. You got the tool. The tool was on your desk. You did your thing, networking, buy box, tell everybody. And then somebody pointed at the tool and says, it might be time to use that one.
Yeah. You got to have those tools, and you got to have the arrows in the quiver. I appreciate that. I mean, this is all something that you would put together. This was not something that I was really working on. And then I looked at it and I said, I think this is a tool that I need to at least fully understand. And then when having the conversation with the attorney, who is, Mike, this is going to be deal flow. We've already talked about 2 or 3 more deals that he wants to talk about. And he's a bankruptcy and restructuring attorney, 7, 11, and 13.
There you go.
And so he's already like, I think this is going to be really helpful for people. And if I get a 10-year lease back. They're going to stay in their house for 10 years. The only way that they're going is if, they get called home.
Exactly.
That's it. So
yeah.
Just an awesome opportunity. So I would encourage you guys, that deal was really comprised of 3 things. It was knowledge and understanding of a product that was available there that could be made available based on trying to educate yourself and up your game to elite status. It was the second thing of being able to network, having conversations with the right people, never limiting yourself in your mind. They don't want to hear that. Don't make that decision for them. They might want to hear that. It was literally, I was dropping off a check on another deal that I was doing. And I mentioned, and I said, hey, do you have a quick minute? And I said it and I pitched it. And that's how I got this deal. And this deal went from the first time I heard it to signed PNS in like 7 days or 9 days. It was nothing. And it saves that family. It gets me another great asset. And then the third thing is, at any time as a landlord, when you are sitting there and creating wealth and doing what you're doing, you can always do good things. It's important as a person. It's important as a businessman to always do good things, or business person to always do good things. I understand that if you've only got 1 or 2 units, or if you have 100 units, really the only difference is the scale of good that you can do. So I would strongly encourage everybody to make sure that they're looking at it through their tenant's eyes or through that family's eyes, and just considering, at least make that part of the consideration. It doesn't have to be all Excel spreadsheets. It really does have to be some people put in there too. Because you know what? I bet they're going to be an amazing reference for me in the next 7 deals that I do, or 10 deals that I do.
Yeah. The first seller financing deal I did, she's been a reference for me a dozen times.
Perfect. Yeah, and has it led to all dozen of those? I mean, has it always led to?
Yeah, every deal closed that she spoke with. Yeah.
You wouldn't have had those without her, without that deal.
Exactly. Absolutely. I mean,
just so important. So Mike, tell everybody where they can find you, my friend.
One rental at a time. And we are going to be talking about seller financing tomorrow with your CPA, Mr. Bob Langworthy. We will also bring up 50, 40, 10. Stephen Dow will likely chime in as well. So we're trying to give back. We're trying to skill up people. Should be fun.
And real quick, Steve Dow's team, elite. They are elite. I had conversations with Dow in the morning. I had his assistant in the afternoon. Within 48 hours, I had the loan coordinator. And within 48 hours of ordering the appraisal, I got a call from the appraiser, and he's coming Monday to appraise it. I mean, that's about as tight as you get in this business. You're not going to do it any faster.
No, it can't be done any faster. No. And again, that's why he keeps coming back. I'm lucky enough to have a channel where he's featured Friday mornings, actually the hour before you and I speak. Mm-hmm. And he only keeps coming back because he's doing what he says he's going to do. I don't have to talk to him. I do it because he's helping the channel and helping the people that watch it. So 90% combined loan to value is magic. Learn the tool.
It is. Absolutely learn that tool. So as I always say, we try and create great content for you guys. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. You can find Mr. Zuber on One Rental at a Time in his live stream tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And Langworthy, if you aren't a student, believe it or not, that's probably something that you should show up for and buy the course for, because I can tell you what Mike charges for his course is about how much Langworthy is for an hour.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah, no, think about it. Yeah,
it's true.
That's actually a great point, right? I charge $320, stupid low price.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get Bob Langworthy for about 90 minutes.
Langworthy is more expensive than that for 90 minutes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually a very good point. That's awesome. You're going to get free questions, direct questions. Buy the course, join. If you do buy it today, I will send you the link because I got to send you the Zoom link, but I can do that really quick.
Yeah, we'll get these things posted today, Mike. Make sure everybody knows. Thank you again for all your time. And guys, like I said, we create great content for you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and check us out over the course of the rest of the week. We've got 3 amigos. We've got Dion Talk Financial Freedom on Tuesday nights, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And Millennial Mike jumping in for REI Avengers whenever he's free, because he's still a slave just like me. Thanks, Mike.
You have a day job is what he meant by that.
Yes. Thanks, Mike. Have a great day.